You know what? If you're scared, if you're really scared about what's going to happen to you, you better start telling the truth.
County County 911, where's your emergency?
I found her in the woods.
You found who in the woods?
My sister.
How old is she?
14.
And what's her name?
Alana.
You're going to regret the day that you let us leave this room. Trust me.
It's going to come back to bite you. Bite you hard.
This is 14-year-old Aaron Schmidt, currently being interrogated for the horrific murder of his best friend and neighbor, 14-year-old Alana Calahan. Aaron is accused of shooting her in the back of the head and then trying to cover up the crime. It's difficult to comprehend how someone so young could carry such darkness within. However, as investigators delve further into the case, an even more chilling truth comes to light. One that no one could have ever imagined.
He ate dinner at our table. I treated him like he was one of my own kids. We bought him birthday presents and we bought him Christmas presents, and we even took him on family trips with us.
On January 31st, 2011, a rainy afternoon in Harlem, Georgia, 19-year-old Amanda Calahan drove to pick up her younger sister, Alana, from a bus stop. Alana stepped off the bus at 3:32 p.m. and headed home. Once inside, she sat down at the family computer, scrolling and updating her Facebook profile. By 3:45 p.m., Amanda left to pick up their youngest brother, Chase, from the bus stop. She was gone for barely 10 minutes. But when she returned, she walked into what would become her greatest nightmare. As Amanda entered the house, she noticed a pair of male shoes beside Alana's shoes at the entrance. Inside, the sliding glass door to the back was wide open, and this was particularly odd for such a cold January day. The computer chair had been tipped over, and Amanda spotted red stains on the carpet, which she dismissed as Kool-Aid. But then, her eyes caught a red smear on the wall. She became confused, trying to make sense of it all and wondering where Alana could be. Suddenly, Aaron, their neighbor and Alana's best friend, burst through the door, breathless, claiming that he had seen a man drag Alana into the woods. The kids rushed out the back, frantic and calling for Alana. Almost immediately, Aaron spotted her and directed their attention to the scene. What they saw was far beyond what their young, innocent minds could handle. Alana lay covered in blood. Amanda, acting quickly, immediately dialed 911. Despite their efforts, Alana remained unresponsive, and when the first responders arrived at the scene, they could only confirm the heartbreaking truth. Alana was gone. The sheriff's office quickly responded, dispatching several officers and 2 canine units to search for the unknown man believed to have just murdered 14-year-old Alana Calahan. Naturally, the Calahans' statements had to be taken, but the focus was first on the eyewitnesses. Amanda and Aaron were brought in for questioning. Right away, something struck the detectives as odd. While Amanda's hands were completely covered in blood from her attempts to resuscitate her sister, Aaron's situation was different. His shirt collar and parts of his shorts were stained with blood, but his hands were clean. Amanda was brought in for questioning, still visibly shaken, with Alana's blood staining her hands.
Tell me what happened to that.
I looked at 3:21. Went to pick her up, but she got off the bus about 3:30. Went back to the house, sat there for a little while, and then she got on Facebook, and I left to go get Chase about 3:48 maybe. And I was sitting up there, and then I come back, and the house was messed up. The chair was tipped over. There was Kool-Aid or blood or something everywhere by the computer, and the door was wide open.
Which door?
The back glass door.
Mm-hmm.
The sliding glass door. And I shut it because I thought her and Aaron were just playing around. I shut it and locked it, and then he comes busting through the front door saying Alana's gone. So I locked the front door. I get in the truck, and I took off towards the backyard. She said we kind of took off that way. Slammed on brakes when I saw Aaron coming out of the backyard because he was throwing up because he found Alana. And I went over to her body and called 911, and they just told me to start taking blood out of her. mouth and her face. And
What? You said Aaron came through the front door?
he got busted through the front door.
And she was gone?
Mhm.
What do you mean by she was gone?
Because I was yelling for her, and he heard me yelling, and he said that she wasn't in the house at all. And he'd followed somebody over there.
Was he there with her when you left?
No, he was walking home, and he saw somebody walk through our backyard.
He was walking home from where? What did he say?
My driveway. I was at the end of the driveway, and he come down to tell me that he couldn't come over for the next 2 weeks because he was on restrictions. And he saw somebody walking through the woods towards our house from that general direction, and he went that way, and he went in through the door, and the one was gone.
Aaron wasn't just Alana's best friend, he was also a close family friend. Aaron was a frequent visitor at the Calahan house after school, practically a fixture in their home. And that day, while Amanda waited at the bus stop to pick up Alana that day, she saw Aaron, who mentioned that he had been banned from visiting the house for the next 2 weeks.
And he looked over and he saw her, and he just kept going. And then
He looked over and saw her?
laying in the ground, and I stopped, and he told me he just got finished throwing up after he saw her laying there.
The passenger door of the truck's in the opposite direction, right? From where she was.
Yes.
So how did he see her?
He was running and he looked over because he was just doing a general scan of both sides of him. And her blue shirt caught his attention.
But he ran the other direction, right?
He was running this way, and he saw her over here in the open woods. And he ran over here to throw up.
He ran over to the right to
Yeah,
throw
he
up?
went to the right to throw up in the woods.
But he didn't run over to her, he ran over that way and threw up?
He threw up, and then we both ran over to where she was.
Did you see him throw up over there?
No, I saw him coming out of the woods. Because he had already took off that way when I was getting in the truck.
Okay. So he went in the woods to the right to throw up and came back out.
And told me that he saw her laying there.
And where were you at?
I was in the truck. I was getting out of the truck when I saw him. I said, "Where is she? Where is she?" And he's pointed that way, and he was trying to wipe his mouth off, pointing towards her body.
I get a little confused here, Chris.
So when you went to get in the truck, he ran around the house?
Yeah.
And by the time you
I
drove,
got to the back of the house, he had got done throwing up and pointed to where she was laying there.
well, wouldn't you have beat him back there?
No, because I put it in reverse because I was just going to go down the creek and go around, see if I saw anyone, but I just went straight through between the house and the trailer. After I thought about it for a second, I just threw it in drive and went forward and saw him.
So where you stopped the truck at, he was coming out of the woods from the right.
Yes.
And he was wiping his mouth, so he just threw up.
He was doing this, saying her body's over there. He just got done throwing up.
Did he say her body's over there?
She's laying on the ground. So we both ran over there.
Amanda explained that she and the boys got into the truck and drove in the direction that Aaron claimed to have seen someone running into the woods. It was then that Aaron spotted Alana. However, based on Amanda's description, detectives concluded that it would have been impossible for Aaron to see her body from where he stood.
Investigated. I just jumped out of the truck and ran straight to her, called 911, and
what was he doing?
he was standing there beside me. And then he took the phone from me because I was too upset to calm down to talk to him. So he took the phone, and I was doing everything that they had told me to do. I was wiping her face with the blood and trying to dig it out of her mouth. And pushing on her chest and trying to blow in her. And
What did he try to help in any way? Or?
he was trying to move the sticks from around her face, and there was one stuck in her hair.
Did he say anything?
And he was just like, "Oh my God, I feel like it's my fault." And then he goes, "I touched her, now my prints are going to be on her," because he went down to touch the stick. Because he was going to move it. And he just freaked out about it. And then he called, and he was freaking out.
While on the phone with 911 trying to figure out how to save Alana, Aaron began removing sticks from her hair. Then he made a strange comment, quote, "Oh my God, now my prints are on her body and they're going to think I killed her." This odd remark raised red flags for the detectives, who started to suspect that something was off about Aaron or the story that he told Amanda. However, Amanda herself wasn't suspicious of anything at the time.
Why did he say it was his fault?
He just feels like it is because normally he's there in the afternoons when she gets home. Because if I'm there by myself, he'll be there with me, and then I'll go to get her, bring her back, and they're at the house hanging out together when I go to get Chase on the end of the driveway. So they're normally hanging out together, and he felt like it was his fault that he got on restrictions and wasn't able to be there when it happened.
What do you think? Do you think she was shot or did you play?
Father looks at it. It looks like she was stabbed right here, a pen or a pencil. I don't think she was shot.
You don't think so? No.
Just the way she looked, it didn't look like she was shot. She had a hole right here going up, and her braces were coming out of her cheek. I can't get the image out of my head.
I'm still trying to figure out how he came out the front door and ran around that way.
He had jolted out the front door before I had gotten in the truck.
Then he catches a glimpse of her over there and goes this way and gets sick. Instead of going over there to see if she was okay or anything. I don't understand that.
I assume it was the initial shock of it all just made him throw up. I don't know if he saw her or anything.
Now, when you were in the house and your word, you said he busted through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Was he?
He was upset. He was panting. He didn't have his shoes on, and he looked like he had been running.
He didn't have any shoes on?
No.
Where were his shoes?
They were in the house. Because once he saw that the chair was knocked over and everything, he went back out the door. From what he told me, he went back out the door without shoes on.
So he would have came in and his shoe was gone. Why did he take his shoes off?
He took her shoes off at the door. He took his shoes off to see if she was in the house room. The same thing I had done. Because I went to see if she was anywhere in the house because I just thought it was a mess.
But when you got back from picking up Chase, he wasn't there.
No,
wasn't there.
He had come busting through the door after I didn't got my shoes off and everything. I started yelling Alana and he come in the door.
And he came in the door.
Yeah.
So how would you have known she wasn't there?
Because he had already came in. He had saw somebody from the time I picked up Alana and took her home. He had saw somebody when he was walking down the street, cutting through a path between his house and ours.
Mm-hmm.
And he started to follow him. Once he saw him cut through, then he wanted to go through to see who they were and where they were going. And by the time he'd done that, he didn't see anything, and he had went in the front door to see if Alana was okay.
The Calahans had been close friends with Aaron ever since they moved into their home in May of 2010, considering him practically family. But a week before Alana's murder, Aaron was banned from their house. It happened on a Wednesday when Alana found Aaron inside their home alone. The strange part was that the Calahans had locked the door, as always, but Aaron insisted that he had found it unlocked. But was this just an innocent mistake? Or was Aaron already planning something far more sinister? In this day and age, danger is lurking around every corner, especially when browsing the internet. And that's where today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, or PIA, comes in. PIA is one of the most trusted VPNs out there, offering robust security, lightning-fast servers, and an intuitive interface. A VPN is a tool that creates a secure connection to the internet, encrypting your data and masking your location. It's like having a personal shield for your online activity, ensuring privacy, security, and access to content across the globe. Whether you're streaming, gaming, or simply browsing, PIA helps you do it all with total peace of mind. Are you tired of being limited by your country's streaming libraries? Well, with PIA, you can unlock a world of content. At The Villains, we use a VPN to access news articles and documents that aren't available in our region. With PIA, you can change the geolocation to 81 different countries. If you're a gamer, PIA is a game changer. It can lower your ping and improve your gaming speed by connecting you to optimized servers, so you can crush the competition without lag ruining the fun. With PIA, your data is protected with military-grade encryption, and they have a strict no-logs policy. That means that even PIA doesn't know what you're up to online. By clicking my link in the description, piavpn.com/thevillains, you can get 83% off on private internet access. That's just $2.03 a month, and you also get 4 extra months completely free.
But then when y'all get over there, it's his fault.
He felt like it was his fault because he wasn't at the house like he normally was.
Then he said his fingerprints were going to be on the body now.
His fingerprints would be on the stick that was stuck to her hair. Because he was trying to move it out of his way so he could hold her head while he got the blood out of her mouth. And I told him not to touch anything.
Why would he be worried about his fingerprint?
Because he thinks he would be a suspect if he touched it.
In her testimony, whenever detectives raised suspicions about Aaron, Amanda defended him. She saw him as a brother and believed that he would never harm Alana. Or at least that's what he led her to believe. But the detectives weren't convinced, and so they brought Aaron in for questioning. Lacey Aaron Schmidt was 14 years old and a high school student living with his older stepsister in Harlem, Georgia. He first met the Calahans when they moved in, and from that day on, he became a daily visitor to their home, practically part of the family. On the day of the murder, Aaron got back from school an hour earlier and lingered at the bus stop in the rain, waiting to tell Amanda that he couldn't visit because of his ban. But was that truly all he was waiting for?
First things first. Tell me what you know happened. I mean, start from the very beginning and tell me what you know happened.
When I went up to the road because I know Amanda comes down to pick her up when it's raining. It was a little bit rainy earlier. Well, I went up to the road and tell Amanda that I won't be able to come for 2 weeks because I got a restriction for 2 weeks. And I told her everything, and I was going back down to the house. And there's like a little gate right there, but there's cable hanging there. Well, I saw somebody run across it and was hardtailing it. So my uncle don't like no one on the land, and I have to get him off because, in the past there's people trying to start fires and stuff like that. Try to plant something that don't need to be there. Well, I went to go see where he went. I was looking around. I went to go see if Amanda knew where he went. If she seen him or anything. But when I went to go she had to go follow her. She was already halfway down the road with the truck to go pick up little Chase from the bus. And when I went down, I said, I can't catch up with her in that truck. And I just stopped and I went to go turn around to go back to the house. When I turned around, I saw somebody kind of taller because you know how far distant it looks like somebody's taller up in something higher, like on that back porch. Well, he was dressed in grayish, blackish pants, black boots, and a black jacket, and a black beanie on. And he saw me and looked at me and ran. And he was white. He was a white man. And he ran away down to the creek bank, and I kind of thought that was kind of dumb because there ain't nothing down that way except the dead end. Except a little bit of four-wheeler trails. So I went to go see if anything was gone or missing because you know how somebody try to break in and go run away. I seen the chair knocked over, and I saw a bunch of reddish looking stuff. I thought it was Kool-Aid myself, because Amanda kept on saying it was Kool-Aid, and I said it didn't look like Kool-Aid. I went and looked out the back door, and I saw some, like drag marks. Well, I seen that, and I saw a bunch of more red stuff, and I figured out that when Amanda came up, now Alana was missing. And so I went out and started helping Amanda look for her. And I found Alana out on the side of that road. Weren't you there? Was you there?
At the scene?
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards, yeah, I came up.
Where she was laying, all out. And I got Amanda. I got sick on my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed the phone from her, and I was talking to some person talking about CPR, pressed on the middle of her chest 3 times and blow. And nothing was happening. And I kept on telling them there's nothing happening. And that's about it.
Okay. When you came up initially, when you first came up,
yes, sir.
How did you come up to the house? To Alana's house, Alana Amanda's house?
I just walked right up in their backyard because I go to their house frequently because we negotiate like with family because I have to go over there every day on a daily basis if I'm in trouble. Well, I just walked up and I didn't notice anything wrong because usually the front door is always open. But the back door, it was wide open. That's what I kind of thought was strange.
Okay.
And I went out and tried to follow and run after Amanda and try to wave at her stop. But I couldn't get her attention. So I went back and went up to the house to see if Alana was still there.
Oh, hold on just a second. You said you came up from the trail. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're talking about that trail that you said leads. I mean, where does the trail lead? I mean, where are you coming from?
You know where the white pickup truck is sitting at?
Yeah.
Well, right there, that trail that leads all the way back there to a little gate.
Okay.
That leads in right in front of my house. That's why I seen that person running through there.
Okay. So you were coming from your house.
From the top of the road to talk to Amanda. Picking up Alana from the middle school bus.
I thought you just said you came from your house up the trail and you were coming up that way, and that's when you saw the back door and all open.
No, I was coming up. When I talked to Amanda at the top of the road when she was going to pick up Alana because it was all rainy, well, I talked to her about why I can't go over there for 2 weeks, and that's why I ain't going to be over there. I was heading back down to the house, and Alana and Amanda was already headed down that way. It took me a little while to get back down to my house.
When you said the top of the road, where are you talking about at the top of the road that you saw?
Alana's driveway, Amanda's driveway.
Okay.
Because my house, a couple more houses down, a little bit further down.
Okay.
Because we made that little path back there once a couple of years ago because there's different people who live in that house. So they just recently moved there. And my aunt was living there, and she had kids, and the people behind her had kids, and they cut a trail. They made a full four-wheeler trail and go-kart trail.
Okay.
Because all it did made a little U.
Right away, detectives noticed inconsistencies in Aaron's story, but they initially chalked it up to him being shaken. However, as they continued to press with more questions, they began to sense something deeper was off.
How did you get from your house?
I walked down that main road and I saw somebody run across, I don't know if you know all the way down because I don't know if you went down the trail. Because, well, when I walked down there, I saw somebody just run and jumped over the cable and kept on running.
Okay.
And I went to go see who it was because I told you that my uncle don't like no one out there.
Okay.
So I decided to go follow him and try to see who it was. I didn't find anybody.
Were you running after him?
I was trying to run, but I can't. I ain't there. Because I kind of cracked it on top of my, right there. I did something bad to it. I don't know what I did.
Okay.
And I tried to run. I couldn't. So I kind of sped walked. You know how to do that? Well, speed walk. And I tried to run down the road to try to catch up with Amanda and try to wave at her. I couldn't get her attention, so I just stopped and I turned around. But when I turned around to go back to the house, if Alana was there, just ask her if she's seen anybody. But that's when I saw that black dude, blackish figure in the back door, where it was actually a white dude.
You saw a black person or a white person?
I want to say black, but it's not because he's all dressed in black. But you can see his face; he's white.
And this is the same person who
jumped over the
fence or the cable up towards your house, going down there that you followed. So after you try to make contact with Amanda, and you realize she's too far up the road for you to make contact with, you do what?
So I just stopped and I turned around to see if Alana was home.
Okay.
But that's when I seen that tallish, blackish dude, but he ain't black, he's white.
Okay.
But I seen his face.
All right. Okay. So where did you check for things being disturbed?
When the Callahans, they leave their door open. All I do is open the door and say, "Hello, I'm here."
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I did, but the computer chair was tipped over and I've seen a bunch of red, and that got me kind of worried and kind of thinking that something happened. But first I thought Alana had spilled her Kool-Aid and was running around, but no one answered, and that's when I kind of, something popped up in my head that something bad happened. And I went up there and looked at the back door and looked around. There's more red and leading out to the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Amanda was coming back up. I was looking around looking around the yard, and Amanda asked why I was still back in the yard. I said I seen somebody run up into my yard, that back area.
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing if y'all was there, but I can't find Alana. So when she pulled up and came inside, and I was coming back in.
Coming back in which way?
From the front door. Because I was checking out through the creek banks if you try to ditch your body. Because there's another trail right here, at least the Callahan's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the first thing I checked, and I just looped around, went back up to the house.
All right.
And that's when Amanda was already there.
Hang tight just a second. You're inside the house. Okay. You walk in the front door. What did you do when you walk in the front door?
I noticed, I took off my shoes because you can't walk in the house with the shoes on the carpet, because that's main rule.
Okay.
So I went out there and looked around, and I was looking around. I was to figure out with my shoe because I saw a bunch of red and I saw that black trail. But I was not even worried about the black trail. But I don't know.
What black trail?
There's like a black trail, but we take out garbage to take out to the burning pit, to burn. Well, not garbage, but cardboard box and stuff like that. That's why I wasn't too worried about it until I ran down the trail and looked down that way, and I saw something bluish. And that's why I seen Alana, and I went up to see if she was all right, and she wasn't moving or nothing. She had all a red face.
So this is after you saw that you were in the house, you went out, you saw the drag mark, and then you went to see Alana, and then what did you do?
Well, Amanda was there at the time when I went outside again. Well,
I think maybe you might have been getting ahead of me. I'm not sure, because I think...
Aaron's story was unraveling. And then he made a crucial slip-up. If he had seen Alana's body before Amanda got home, why did he pretend to search for her?
Did you bother to tell Amanda at the time that she said, "Hey, have you seen Alana?" Did you bother to tell her about the blood on the back porch or the blood?
Yeah, she's seen it. She's seen everything. She's seen everything. She's the second person who went over there and looked at the computer area.
Did you say tell her about the blackish white guy that was on the back porch?
I told her everything. That's when she got in the truck and was going around.
But you told her he was on the back porch?
Mm-hmm. I told her everything.
The only thing I can tell you is I can understand most everything you're telling me. And you have to kind of go with me here on this. Do you know anything about how kind of this thing works as far as, crime scene investigations and all that kind of stuff? You know how any of that works? I mean, you ever seen anything like CSI or anything like that?
Well, I have, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Don't really pay attention to it. I mean, I don't know if you like it or not, but that's, kind of part of this falls into that CSI kind of thing. No, we don't do it all in 1 hour and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but one of the things that we did is we had dogs come out. I don't know if you saw them or not.
And I saw one.
You saw one. There was at least two we had out there. And do you have any idea what those dogs do?
No, not really. All I know from one time from Jersey T last Thursday, we had like a little event where the military was showing off their dogs. Tricks. They smell out like weapons, stuff like that, drugs, bombs, stuff like that.
Yeah. And also ours.
And guard dogs.
People.
What we call tracking dogs.
Tracking dogs. And we had not one but 2 dogs go all over that area, from the back of the house all the way back down that trail as far as they could go, and back down toward the creek and all over that area. And you know one thing they didn't find? They didn't find a trail. The dogs kept kind of looping back around back to the house. And I'm trying to wonder if there was another person down there besides you that was leaving a trail down there that was doing all that running around that you said you saw him doing. Why wouldn't we have a trail back there for that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, sir.
The detectives were closing in on Aaron, and their suspicions were mounting for good reason. Back in 2010, after becoming friends, Aaron and Alana began crushing on each other and briefly started dating. However, Alana's youth pastor advised her that she was too young to date, and her parents agreed. So, just 3 days in, she ended things with Aaron. While he was hurt, he seemed to take it well. Or at least that was what he made everyone think.
But Aaron, let me ask you this. What point would it be for me to sit here and try to trick you?
There isn't.
There isn't one, right?
That ain't a job.
Then you look at me and you listen to what I'm saying. I'm not trying to trick you. I am absolutely not trying to make you out to be an idiot. Nothing. I'm talking serious business here. And when I tell you, there's nothing we've got right now to show that there was a man there, period. Nothing. Nothing. And on top of that, how would somebody know to come down there with just this blazing streak of luck to get down there and get in and get out and get gone in 10 minutes? Because I haven't even really gone there yet. That's another thing that really just don't add up, buddy. It just don't. I mean, I can do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I can't do is zip down a trail and do all that zippity-doo-dah he supposedly did in 10 minutes. And you supposedly running all over there too.
I was looking everywhere for him.
But you never crisscrossed, did you?
I've never seen him.
You never seen him again after you said you saw him jump the fence and then you saw him up there at the back door. You never saw him again, right?
No idea.
He had 10 minutes. Believe me, I only know of one person that I know of that can make the illusion of that, and that's Chris Angel, the magician. But then again, I think that's all cameras and mirrors anyway. I don't really believe that he disappears.
I don't even watch that.
Well, and it's probably not worth your time anyway, because it's all a bunch of garbage, magic, junk. It don't matter to nothing. I'm talking about real world here. I'm talking about real world people here. You and I, flesh and blood, flesh and bone, that leave stuff behind us that tell us, we were here. And I go and we look all over that area with one and then another dog, and they don't find anything. And then I can't for the life of me figure out how he would have flown in there and flown out in 10 minutes, much less anything else.
Aaron's confidence was clearly crumbling. He never anticipated the detectives closing in on him so quickly. So, what really happened that day?
It's kind of something like y'all trying to say that I did something that I know I didn't do.
We're trying to fill in.
I know what y'all saying, but it's kind of saying that, like, it makes it sound like it's come directly back to me. Like I did something wrong.
You called from the GSR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him?
Yeah.
All right. Right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Sorry about that.
Can you get both for us?
Huh?
Get both for us?
Yeah.
I'll be out of here. I'll be right around the corner.
All right.
Unless you need one of us in here.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
What's this?
Gunshot residue kit.
Well, it's gonna get it all over.
Huh?
It's gonna get me all over.
Why is that?
Because just 2 days ago and yesterday, me and my...
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's your cousin's name?
Tommy.
Tommy what?
Didn't
What kind of gun would y'all shoot?
22.
22. What, rifle or pistol or what?
Rifle.
Nothing. You like guns?
Not really. I know they do bad, but
Yeah.
hunting with them.
It might just be the person that got the gun that does bad, maybe. How'd you get that on your finger?
I clipped my finger in a fence.
Oh, really?
Today. I was getting his dog collar because it snapped the other one.
Right.
So I went and got him a new one. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I got you. Well, again, I'm not worried about you having gunshot powder residue on your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the powder that matches up that's on that girl's face becomes back the same powder that's on that.
Yes, sir.
That's when we got a problem, because all powder
equals the same.
It's not the same. They're all different.
No, I'm talking about whatever powder's on the same things.
If this powder right here that I just took off your hands, if it comes back as the same powder that's on that girl in there, then there's a problem. So it don't matter if you tell me you shot a gun yesterday. I'm trying to match what's on your hand with what's on that girl. And I'll know that in about 30 minutes. Put your other hand out here. You ever watch CSI?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. I wish I could solve something within an hour, even with the commercial.
Aaron was starting to panic, scrambling for any excuse to cover what the detectives were closing in on. But would the pressure be enough to push him to confess?
I'll never get home tonight. Look here, dude. All I do is show up and take the samples.
Yes, sir.
But I'm telling you, science don't lie.
I know.
If what I've got right here is on that girl, and you've been sitting here not telling these guys the truth, and I have to go through all the trouble to find out about it, it's going to look a whole lot worse. So, something's happened, it's happened, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, what sink you want me to do?
That man in the bathroom right away. Can you go over there? Yeah, I'll be in the bathroom.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah, porn.
Where's the porn, bro?
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You better real quick. Take your shoes off. Okay. Aaron?
Yes, sir.
You know there was another guy there, right?
It was.
Aaron. Aaron. You've been doing this a long time, buddy. Okay.
I know.
You've been doing this a long time. Okay. This whole thing just got twisted, turned around. And like I said, we'll go talk to you. We know you're not a bad guy. We know they brought you in the family tree stuff, man. I mean, if accidents happen, we can, that's something we can do. But you saw her mom when you were sitting out there. You saw what happened to you. Okay. Next thing she deserves to know what happened to her dog. No. Good as she's been. I think she was first.
I'm fine. I'll go out straight with you.
Please do.
But I was not the only person there.
Okay.
So I did not shoot the gun.
Okay.
I was actually trying to stop it.
Okay.
Well, I did see the person jump it, the fence and everything. I kind of did do that, but I went straight to the house. But when I went in, and a gun was shot. And when that happened, he pointed the gun at me and I got scared. I'm sorry for lying at y'all.
Who had to do it?
Like I was saying, this tallest, I don't know who his true, I don't know his name though. Alana wants the truth, and I'm trying to give the truth, but every time I try to say it right now, it comes right back down to me.
We know.
I was not the only person there, I swear to God. If I had a video camera, I would have put it on.
Let me see something. Let me see the bottom of your feet. No, lift them up. Lift them up. Lift them up. Okay. Here's yet another piece of the puzzle.
On top of my foot.
On top of your feet. How is it you get blood on top of your feet walking around on it in the floor?
I'm trying to tell y'all, but I just have to tell y'all that one part.
Okay.
Because it aimed the gun at me. I didn't know if it was going to shoot.
Where did the gun come from?
Huh?
Where did the gun come from?
I don't know, sir. He was going to aim it at me.
Let me ask you
that
this.
was the dirty word.
What kind of gun did it look like?
It looked like a 9mm.
Okay.
To be honest.
Unknown to Aaron, detectives had searched his house, uncovering several items belonging to the Calahans: an iPod, an MP3 player, and a digital camera. But one discovery stood out above the rest: a gun box, user manual, and ammunition for the 9mm used to kill Alana.
Guess what we found as far as around that target practice area right there? Guess what we found?
What?
9mm casings.
What?
Around that target area that you said you and then with target practice. Remember, I heard you say it. Your target practice.
But I never knew about a 9mm. Only knew about a 308.
We found some casings around there, so obviously we know there's a 9mm up there somewhere. What's going to happen if they find that gun? And it's got your fingerprints on it, and on top of that, it's got gunshot residue on your hand. How are we going to explain that?
I'm sorry.
I think you are.
I'm sorry, but I did not shoot her.
Did you see it happen?
Yes, sir.
How did
I had to ditch the weapon.
Okay. You had to ditch the weapon?
Sir.
Where did you ditch the weapon at?
It's over there near the bushes near the truck. But I had to help him move the darn body. I didn't want to. I treated him like him. He kept on aiming the gun at me though, and telling me to do it. Saying that every time if I do snitch on him, he was gonna get me. I'm scared.
But he had the gun on you. But then you took.
Then he threw the gun down and ran.
You had to ditch it, and then you ran out and you tried to look for him, and he was gone at that point.
Yes.
Why would you tell Amanda?
Because she was trying to sound bad.
Aaron's story was falling apart, and his behavior increasingly unconvincing. Moreover, it was clear that he was trying to fabricate a cover for the gunpowder residue and his fingerprints on the weapon. Why lie to the police if the supposed unknown assailant had ditched the gun? And why would this man let Aaron live after witnessing Alana's murder?
I don't know if they're kind of shoot. I don't know him. It was some kind of short, fattish, brownish person. He ain't too short.
You just said before it was a tall, black.
I know, but I had to say that so he don't get on me. I know who he is, though. I know who he is, but I don't know his name.
Where does he live?
He's a guy who likes shooting all his weapons down the road.
There.
Y'all probably think I'm lying about it.
Aaron, I don't think you're lying. I think you're scared to death. And I think you're trying to figure out a way to make some sense out of what happened. But there ain't but one of two ways I can look at this. And you go with me on this. We all know, sitting in this room, there was no second man.
There was.
Listen to me.
I'm not lying about the guy, though.
Listen to me.
I did not stand there making up this lie about this dude standing there with it.
Listen to me. Aaron, are you going to listen to me?
Yes,
I can tell you with every bit of certainty of us sitting here, just like he can. There was no other man. So this boils down to one of two things.
It leads right down to me.
No, listen to me. It is either somebody that went over there with the intention of hurting Alana, and this was a premeditated, cold-blooded deal, or the only other thing it could be was things got a little out of hand and it was a complete and total accident. And that person that did it is scared to dang death right now trying to figure out how to make it right. It's one of the two.
I couldn't hurt her not when
Not purposely.
No, I never will hold a firearm without an adult. That's the main rule. I know my hand's going to be on that gun because
The bottom line is, you're all over this whole thing, period. Not just the gun, the yard, the house, the road, everything. You're over everything. You, Aaron, are over everything. Nobody else is over everything. You're forgetting there were other people in that yard too with you. The dogs kept tracking back to the same spot, which is in the backyard. Kept running around over here, running around trying to find other stuff, and they couldn't find other stuff, and they ran back to the front yard. Why? Because nobody left that backyard, Aaron. Nobody left that backyard. If anybody left that backyard, those dogs would have made a beeline off of it and ran through the woods over there because they ran that way. They looked that way. But they kept coming back. Why? Because the person didn't leave. There was no time. It does not add up.
Your parents are the only ones on the gun, right?
Yeah, because
You're the one that dragged her outside.
Yeah.
And dragged her over there.
And might I add, you said, oh, you just thought it was a garbage trail. Do you really want me to go tell her mother that was a garbage trail that was drug over there?
No, sir.
Okay, then. You see what I could say? Somebody drugged this around here like a bag of garbage. Her daughter was drugged around here like a bag of garbage.
If it was an accident, it was an accident. But you got to tell me.
Dude, you got to tell us. If it was an accident, let's sit here and quit talking what it is.
If it was a game, something.
Whatever happened. But stop on this some other dude did it. Man, everybody tries to say that, and everybody that said it, it don't work.
Aaron soon realized that he couldn't outsmart the detectives, constantly adjusting his story to fit each new piece of evidence against him. After a tense back and forth, he finally offered a half-baked confession. But this would only get him into more trouble than he hoped.
I told you, it's not going to add up. You can say it, you can try to believe it, but you know it doesn't add up. If it was an accident, say it was an accident. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, I'm not trying to trick you.
Nobody's going to end up as I.
You don't even know what's going to happen any more than I do.
I don't want to hurt her feelings.
You don't want to hurt whose feelings?
Her feelings.
Alana's?
Mom.
Her feelings are already hurt, Aaron. How much more hurt could they be?
I didn't mean to hurt her.
All right, then what happened?
She was goofing around and I was goofing around. But first I went over there to tell her that I couldn't be over here for 2 weeks like I was saying. And because I know Amanda kind of a little bit forgets stuff when she's doing a lot of busy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, and she said she wanted to go outside and let's go and do something. Well, I didn't know the gun was loaded.
Okay. And what happened?
And she was acting like she was pulling the trigger. And I said, don't do that. Okay. And I took it away. And I went to go try to go put it up so I can go leave. And it went off.
Where was she at when it went on?
Over there where the computer was. Over at the computer.
How close to you when it went on?
I had it right there in my hand. I was grabbing it to take it away.
So you were right behind her when it went on?
Right in front of her.
Right in front of her? She get shot in the face or in the back of the head?
He got shot in the neck. All I know is she got shot. She fell over by the chair and fell over.
I'm sure she was shot in the back of the
I didn't know if she was driving the back of the head or not. All I know is the gun went off. And she went flopping down.
And she was in front of you, and her head, back of her head was facing you, right?
No. When are you making it sound like I tried to shoot her in the back of the head?
We're not trying to make it say that's what the evidence shows, buddy.
I know.
So if you know that, then why are you saying we're making it up? We're not. That's
no,
what
but I didn't aim it at her head at all. All I did was grab it, and it went off.
Where were you at when you grabbed it?
Right in front of her. When I grabbed it, the gun tilted up, and when it tilted up, it went off.
Aaron, that's your name? My name's Frank Dodson. This is Richard Douglas. Just pick one thing. Why did you lie to the investigators? About what? About her touching the gun and fumbling with it and her finally handing it to you. Why did you lie? Why did you make me go through all that process of having it fingerprinted for me to have to walk in here and say, you know what? Her prints ain't all over. Why did you lie and tell those investigators that she touched that gun when that dead girl has never put her fingers on that gun? Why did you lie about that? I don't know. Sure you do. Why did you lie in an official investigation where someone you know is dead and you have drugged their body out?
If they're dead.
You're not going to do that to me.
Not until you just said that the dead girls.
What?
Until you kept on saying the dead girl. And that's when I finally figured out that she was finally dead.
You think she's been alive all this time?
I don't know. All I know is she wasn't moving or not.
And she's gargling.
Huh?
That come out of your own mouth.
What?
You said she was gargling.
Yeah, she was.
And then she was laying there not moving and not breathing.
Yes.
What normally happens when somebody's gurgling and they quit breathing?
You know when you ask that deputy what happens when you shoot a deer and it gurgles? You know there ain't much life left in it. You know enough about that to know. Sure, you know she was dead. The point I'm trying to make here is, why did you lie to the investigators and lead them to believe that that girl had put her hands on that weapon when she had not even touched it? Why did you lie about that and mislead them and make them go and do extra work and me extra work? Why has it took the last 4 hours to try and get the truth out of you when you could have sat here and told us the whole story and be done with it? But yet every time I walk in with something, I'm going to do I'm going to do the gun residue. You add something more to your story. That is a lie. Why are you lying about this?
I don't want to go to YAC.
Why did you lie and tell those investigators that that dead girl put her hands on that weapon? Why did you say that to them? Why did you lead them to believe that?
By the end of the interrogation, Aaron had given 27 different accounts of Alana's murder. But the evidence was clear. He had had the gun for days, and he likely waited at the bus stop for Amanda to leave before shooting Alana while she was at the computer. The most chilling part? Alana may have never known that Aaron was the one who shot her. She might not have even known that Aaron was in the house. With mounting evidence against him, Aaron was arrested and charged with the murder of 14-year-old Alana. His trial took place before a jury from February 6th through 9th, 2012. On March 2nd, 2012, Aaron Schmidt was found guilty of all charges. He received a life sentence without the possibility of parole for malice murder, 5 additional years for firearms possession to be served consecutively, and 10 years for theft to be served concurrently with the life sentence.